Hey guys, I know it's been a hot minute since I've done a video. I've been traveling a lot, but I wanted to do kind of like a foundation face video, contouring, all that, so that you guys can see what products I've been using lately, because I change it up so much. But I've had some products that I've got sent to me over the past month that I've been obsessed with, and anyone that likes full beat, full cake is gonna love these products. So if you wanna see what foundation, face products I've been using lately, go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna start off with is hydrating the skin. And just a disclaimer, I did wake up this morning and I had a horrible rash on my face, and I don't know what it's from. I just woke up and my face started to itch and everything, so I put cortisone cream on because it just was so red. So if you're wondering what that is, this usually is not here. But it'll be okay, we'll cover it with foundation, it will be fine. But the first product that I wanted to use, this is one that I haven't tried yet. So this is the first time I'm trying this, but I recently just met Charlotte Tilbury, which is one of my biggest inspirations as a makeup artist. She's a huge celebrity makeup artist and she has the most amazing makeup line. But she also has some skincare. And she was telling me about this Miracle Glow moisturizer that she created, and she said it's what makes her skin for her clients look flawless. So I really wanted to try it. So today we are going to use a little bit of her Miracle Glow moisturizer. So usually I would just get it with my hands, but I'm just going to use a beauty blender like this, and I'm just going to apply it straight to the skin. And it smells amazing. It smells and feels super hydrating. So we're just going to apply it all over the skin, all over the eyes, even down onto the neck. It feels good, so I hope that it makes my foundation look even better. So once that's applied, I'm actually not going to apply a primer because I really want to see how this works with my foundation. And I'll let you guys know. You guys can message me down below or on my Instagram and I'll let you know how I like it. But I'm going to go straight into foundation after this. I don't really use a lot of primers. I really like hydrating moisturizers. If I wasn't using this, the moisturizer that I usually use is Drink of H2O from Tarte. This is super good, I love it, and this is completely gone because I use it every single day. Okay, for foundation, I am so in love with the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. If any of you guys have tried it in the past, for a lot of people, it's too thick. It's a very thick formula, but for me, I love that thick cake. And the way that I apply it is with a damp beauty blender. So when it goes on, it's a lot more smooth, it's not super heavy, and you don't have to use a lot of this product. Like, a small amount goes a really long way. And I have a spray tan on right now, so the color on my face, I don't know how it's gonna look in camera, but it probably show up a little bit darker. But there's not a color that matches my neck right now. So I'm going to be mixing medium, neutral, and light warm. So that's shade 53 and 45. And I'll show you guys up close. But I'm gonna do one pump of this and one pump of this to get my perfect shade for today. So just like that, and then we're gonna apply straight to the skin. See, that rash is being covered. And I bring it all the way down onto the neck, all the way down to the collarbone. And it looks like I'm gonna need a little bit more. I always do one pump of each, and then I go back, and if I need more coverage, I can go ahead and apply. I'll probably use the lighter color just because this is looking pretty warm, and I'm not too tan right now, so I'll probably go in with a little bit more of light to give any coverage, especially on areas that are showing through. I go straight over the eyes as well. Even though we're gonna do concealer, we're gonna do primer and everything like that on the eyelids, I still like to go over it with foundation because I'm creating a blank space for the skin so we have that flawless looking coverage. So just one more pump of light, and I'm just gonna go over, I can still kind of see where I had a rash, so I'm just gonna cover any extra areas. Okay, once everything has been covered, we can go ahead and move on to concealer and contouring and all that good jazz. Probably next I would apply my concealer and then I would go into contouring. And the concealer that I'm using today is actually also from Kat Von D. It is the Lock-It as well. And the shade that I'm using is called L13 Cool. I love the foundation and the concealer so much just because they are a full coverage, and I like that full coverage every single day. That's just me. I don't like the natural like BB creams. That's not how I roll. I want to be covered in cake. Thank you. So I'm going to apply this straight under the eyes. And this does have a little bit of peachiness to it. So it's going to cover any dark circles or any darkness that you're going to get under the eyes if you're super tired. So I apply it straight under the eyes all the way up to the temple. So go ahead and apply it on both eyes up to your temple, and then we can go ahead and blend it in with our beauty blender again. Literally, this concealer gives the most like flawless, smooth, buttery finish to the skin underneath the eyes. It just looks like there's no lines there. It just looks so smooth. Okay, so that's what it should look when you have your full face cake on. And we can go ahead and move on to our contour and powder because I don't want to look this shiny. I look like a grease ball right now. But when we put the powder on, everything will be sealed in and it will look gorgeous. Okay, so I went and applied half and half of the Lock-It from Kat Von D Translucent with the BECCA Soft Light in Golden Hour. I mixed the two, and with a damp beauty blender, I applied it underneath the eyes, just so I can set under there while I'm contouring, because if you don't set your under eyes, it's gonna go ahead and crease, and we don't want that. So now we can go ahead and start on the contouring while this bakes under the eyes. So for contouring, lately I've been obsessed with these sticks from Iconic London, and the shade that I use is 3.1. It's a really nice warm toned brown, and it looks beautiful for any olive skin tones for contouring. So I go ahead and apply it to the top of my forehead, as well as on the highest point of my cheekbones. And the reason why I like these is because they're so easy. You don't have to go in there with a brush and paint all lines on your face. They're super easy to travel with, and I really do love the color, and they blend super beautifully as well. So I go ahead and apply it to my jawline. And then for the nose, I'll go in there with my nose perfector brush and do it much more slim, because with this, I can't really get in super tiny. So let's go ahead and blend this out. The brush that I use is a tapered stippling brush. The one that I've been obsessed with is from LUXIE Beauty, and it's number 550. So it's called Short Duo Fiber, and it looks totally mangled because I use it every day. So I love this brush for blending out the contour, because if you go ahead and use like your beauty blender to blend it out, I just feel like it doesn't give that super faded kind of no like seamless contouring look. With this, it just blends it perfectly into the hairline, and it looks a little bit more natural as contour could look. So when you're doing your jaw, blend all the way across, but be sure to blend it down a little bit onto the neck, because you don't want it to look like just a strip of brown. That does not look good. So blend it down so it creates a nice shadow effect. And right here, underneath the contour, don't worry if it doesn't look perfect, because we can go ahead and go in there with concealer and sharpen that up. Okay, so once it's blended out as good as it can be, we can go ahead and go back in there with the Lock-It concealer or whatever concealer you want, and just sharpen it up right there. I know it's a lot of layers for some people, but honestly, the end look looks amazing. You can layer foundations, concealers, all that as much as you want. When I do my clients' makeup, no lie, I probably put about like 3 different concealers, like 2 different foundations, 2 different contouring colors, and it still comes out not looking heavy and cakey and gross. It looks flawless. It's just the way that you blend it out. You don't need to, even though you're packing on all of these products onto the skin, if you're using a damp beauty blender, it's taking away a lot of that product, and it's leaving whatever needs to stay and be there to look flawless. So don't worry if we pack it on. If you do it the right way, it will come out looking really good and snatched. We're ready for our powder. Actually, we need a nose contour. But I don't think I want to do a cream contour on my nose today. I think I want to do powder contour. So I'm going to go ahead and powder my face, and then I'll show you guys how I do that. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and apply all of our powders, and some of the powders I'm going to be using today are from MAC. I recently went back to Studio Fix. I used this when I was like so young, when I was in high school, and I forgot how good it was. And I feel like a lot of people are afraid to use MAC cosmetics, maybe because one time they broke out or whatever, but I think that MAC is amazing, and I think their face products are so good. So if you're afraid to use MAC, go ahead and go back and maybe try it. Definitely try the Studio Fix powder because it is a really nice under eye full coverage color and powder. It just looks so pretty under the eyes. And the shade that I would suggest to get if you are a little bit more olive, kind of on the lighter side, is NC25. It's a really nice kind of like yellow toned light shade. So I like to use this underneath my eyes, especially after I brush away the baking powder. I go ahead and pack this baby on. So I'm gonna apply this under the eyes as well as underneath the cheekbones and in the center of the forehead. So go ahead and dust away the baking powder. And I'm using a LUXIE 522 tapered highlight brush. I like this underneath the eyes as well as all over the face. So we're gonna go ahead and get a good amount of product and we're just going to pack it underneath the eyes. The motion that I do when I apply it is pressing. Press that powder in because it gives a really pretty finish. Right under here, you can apply it. I did a pretty good job at hiding that rash. So if you can see, I'm avoiding the areas where I did the contour because I'm going to be using a darker powder, not a bronzer. I'm going to be using a darker powder to set that, and then we can go ahead and add in our bronzer as well. And when I apply my powders, I really take away all the shine and the glow from the skin. That's just what I do personally. I don't love glowy skin, I like matte skin. And then I like to go in there with highlighters and add the glow into certain areas like my cheekbones or forehead, nose, all the areas where glow should be. I go back in and add it in. I get pretty oily, and that's why I like my skin super matte. So if you don't like your skin as matte as this, you can go ahead and, if you don't want to try this powder, there's also the mineralized skin finish from MAC that's really good. It's a little bit lighter and you're not going to have such a full coverage. Or you can go ahead and try my other favorite, which is Hello Flawless from Benefit. This is like my holy grail powder that I love. But today I want a full coverage matte look to the skin, so we're going to be using as much powder as we can. So now for the contouring areas, to set that contour, I'm going to be using Honey from Hello Flawless, from Benefit, from Hello Flawless powder. That didn't sound good, but you know what I mean. So Hello Flawless in Honey. And the brush is LUXIE 520 Tapered Face. So I'm going to go ahead, and this shade is like the same, a little bit lighter than the contouring shade, but really close to it. So the reason why I use a powder instead of going over that area with bronzer is because it creates a really nice, almost like a prime for the bronzer. Because if we went straight in there with the bronzer on top of the creamy contour, it doesn't give a really flawless look over that. You want kind of a nice barrier and then put your bronzer on there. Trust me, it will look so much more smooth. Plastered cement face. That's the goal, people. No, I'm just kidding. It looks good in person. Okay, once that's applied, we can go ahead. I hate when brushes come off on your face, which that never usually happens, but now we can go ahead and apply a little bit more of a bronzer right in here, so it gives that hollow effect to our cheekbone. So the bronzer that I'm using is Park Avenue Princess from Tarte. I love this bronzer because it's a really nice dark brown, almost like a taupey brown. So it's not going to be super orange. It's going to go more on the cool tone side of bronzers. And I am using the same brush that I use under my eyes to apply this right into the hollows of the cheekbones. And we're not going all the way down. We're staying probably about 1.5 inches towards, a little bit closer towards our hairline, because that's going to make the contour pop. Especially when our hair is down, it's going to almost create that shadow, so it really just sculpts. So once our cheekbones are contoured, our jaw is just snatched, our forehead is contoured and bronzed, we can go ahead and contour our nose, which is one of the most important parts of contouring, if you like nose contouring. And the brush that I'm going to be using is my brush, of course, and it is the Nose Perfector that I collaborated with Luxie. I love this brush to death. You can use it with powder bronzer, powder contouring, or you can use it with cream contouring. Today, I'm gonna be showing you how I've been contouring just with bronzer, just like a quick nose snatch. So go ahead and keep watching if you wanna see how to cut your nose in half. But this is how the brush looks like. Again, it's $24. You can get it at Luxie. I'll put the link down below. It is used by so many influencers, makeup artists, anyone that loves a good nose contour. This is definitely that magic wand that you want to get. So the powder that we're going to be using today to contour is another one from MAC, and it is Mineralized Skin Finish in Medium Deep. This is a really nice warm powder. I'm using this instead of a bronzer just because I feel like it's not going to be as of a contrast with colors. If I can open it. Okay, so this is what the color looks like. And we're gonna go ahead and be using our larger side of the brush. There's a small taper side, and then there is the larger side. So go ahead and apply the brush straight into the powder. And you can use a different color if you want, but just watch my technique on how I apply it. I'm gonna start at the top of the brow and curve inwards, but staying closer to the center of the bridge of the nose to create that smaller effect. And for me, with contouring, like, I'm not trying to make my nose look so small. I just want to make it look defined. So when I take pictures, it shows up and it isn't just like a white blank space. Because if I took photos right now with how my nose is, it wouldn't even show up really well. It just would kind of be blurred out. So I love to contour so that you can kind of see the shape of the nose more. So apply it just like that, and it's okay if it looks dark because we'll go over it and blend it out so it doesn't look just like two straight lines on your nose. I like to do a V at the tip of the nose, just like that. Okay, so once our contour is on, we can go ahead and blend it out with the same brush, and then I'm going to be going back and I'm going to be using the color Champagne from Benefit and Hello Flawless to blend it out. Okay, there you have it. That's what it should look like once it's blended out. It may look a little bit intense in there, I don't know how it looks, but to me in person it looks shadowed, contoured, but soft. So even though we went in there heavy, the key is to go over the contouring shades with the same shade as your face powder. And what that will do, it will mute the bronzer down a little bit, so it just looks a lot softer. So now we can go ahead and we can finish off the face with blush and highlight, move on to eyes. So the blush that I'm going to be using today is from Jadeywadey, and the color is the Barest Blush. The color is called First Lover. So this blush is so pretty. It's like a nude peach, and I love peach tone blushes for the skin, especially when I have a little bit of a tan. This is what it looks like, and it usually has a little sliver of highlight in it, but since I've used it so many times, it's mixed in there, so it is a little bit of a shimmery peach blush. And I'm going to be using a stippling brush from Luxie in 508. This is a Doer Fiber stippling brush. I'm not like a crazy blush hooker, I just want like a little bit, just a little pinch of pink. Okay, so now we can move on to highlighting, but before I highlight, I love to spray my face with any misting spray. And the one I'm going to be using today is from Urban Decay. It is called Chill, and it's their cooling and hydrating makeup spray. Go ahead and spray it first so it doesn't like spit on your face, because I've done that before. And if you do that and you have a big thing of hydrating mist on your face, go ahead and just use your beauty blender and just go over it. It will fix anything. We definitely want to spray after we put all those products on our skin, especially all that powder on our skin. So just make your skin a little bit more dewy again, and then we can apply our highlighter. And also when you spray your face, kind of adds like a nice prime for your highlighter to stick onto, and it's going to make it look so much more glowy and just like a disco ball. Okay, so the highlighter that I'm using today, I haven't touched it yet. I'm so excited about this, but it is from Nicole Guerrero and Anastasia Beverly Hills. I was so excited to get this palette. It is beautiful, and the highlighters in it are like insane. I don't even want to touch it because they're virgin highlighters right now and they're just perfect. But look at these colors. Just pop that one, cherry. Forever Lit, that is so gorgeous. This is what it looks like. Oh my gosh, these are so pretty. I love all of Anastasia's highlighters. So when she did have this collaboration with Nicole, I knew that it was gonna be nothing less than amazing. So let's see what color we wanna use. I think that I wanna use a little bit of Forever Young and Forever Lit. And the brush that I'm gonna be using today, this is from Artist Couture. It's not out yet. You guys know my friend Nippy, Angel, Mac Daddy. He has this brush called AC01 and it is the most gorgeous, amazing highlighting brush. Little does he know I stole this from his house and it's amazing. He's not gonna get it back. So I'm gonna put this in Forever Young and apply it straight to my cheekbones. Ooh, more. Beautiful. Such a pretty, almost like a soft champagne pink.
More.
More, always. For the forehead, I do like to add a little bit of highlight just up here. And I'm gonna be using Glow Getter from her palette. I don't know if you guys can see this. Glow Getter. It's a little bit more of like a gold tone. I don't like to put any pearly colors up here because it looks a little bit too light. And then for the nose, we can go ahead and take our nose perfector brush. And this one might be a little bit too light for the nose, so we can go ahead and apply this into the inner corners of the eyes because it's like a really nice pearly white. And then for the nose, we can go ahead and let's try 143. I love these so much. They do have like a lot of glitter in it, but nothing that's like really thick glitter. It just adds like a really nice shine. So your cheek's not gonna look glittery, it's gonna look glowy, but in here, it just looks like so beautiful and glittery. So I just apply it straight to the tip of the nose. And then I don't apply it all the way down the bridge. I like to just apply it right here in between the eyes. The reason why I do that, I actually saw this trick from Harush. She is Kylie Jenner's makeup artist, but I saw her applying the highlighter right between the brows instead of all the way down, and it really gave the effect of like a more turned up, slimmer nose. Okay guys, now my face is complete. I can go ahead and move on to my brows, my eyes, my lips, all that type of stuff. I'm gonna film that in a separate video, but I wanted you guys to see how I did my whole face and how I've been doing it lately and some of my favorite products. So I hope you guys liked this video, but thank you so much for watching this. I hope you love this glowy snatch contour look. And I'll see you in my next video.